All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Iconic Video Games Podcast. I'm your host, Axel1324.
I'm Death Dealer.
And I'm Doggy Dog 420.
And, of course, today we got our special guest from Spawning Point.com. Almost said Spawnway. Spawning Point, Roy Matombo.
Hello, hello.
It is Spawning Point, right? I didn't get that wrong, right?
Spawningpoint.com, yes.
I'll
say it a few times, don't worry.
I'm going to get it one day.
We'll get there.
Back of my hand, I'm going to get it. All right, guys. So, another week has passed us by. Ladies first, Death Dealer, what have you been playing?
Nothing still. Talk to me later this week.
I see. Nothing right now, huh?
Life is hard, yeah.
Oh. It says virtual background shut down. I don't remember using virtual background. Was I using a virtual background?
I don't think
it's
so.
the night of technical difficulties.
Right, yeah. That's
Obviously, a lot of us are having technical difficulties today.
This should have been the Halloween episode.
Right, yeah.
Right?
The curse is on tonight. Friday the 13th or something, right? Yeah, man.
So, okay. Well, Roy, you're the guest. What have you been playing?
I've been playing Judgment this week, the Yakuza Like a Dragon detective spin-off. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool.
Yes. It's still what do you call it? It's still the Jesus Christ, the beat 'em up style, right?
Yes, yeah, it came out before
before
they went to the turn-based one. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Not the turn-based style. All right. So how is it, Judgment?
Yeah, it's great. It's a lot of fun. It's the story's really, really interesting. Combat, of course, is fun and kind of silly and over the top in places, and yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. I love the Yakuza series now. I wasn't before, but now I am. Doggy, what have you been playing, bro?
Let's see. I finished up my platinum for Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster on the PlayStation, so I've got the completion on the Xbox and the PlayStation because it was so good. Started Final Fantasy 2, the original Final Fantasy 2, like the one for Japan only. Pixel Remaster. It's great too. Played some Call of Duty Zombies last Friday. That was a 2D HD 2D remake or whatever it's called. As soon as I get in with my Final Fantasy.
So good. I don't care what anybody says.
Wait.
That game is going to be so good.
Can't wait.
So good. So this week I have been on a Nintendo kick. I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom. Like that game just sucks me back in, and I've been playing it. But then, like for the last 2 days, I've been playing Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line. It's basically like a Guitar Hero, but for Final Fantasy. It's available on both PlayStation and the Nintendo Switch, but of course I have the Switch version because it's the greatest console ever made. You know what I mean, Doggy?
I gotta say,
I'm very excited for it.
I got that for $23.99 earlier. It went down to $23.99 because I put it on my wish list. I was like, that's a pretty good price. I just went for the PS4. I just went and got it.
Yeah,
you told me on that last.
Sale started today, right?
What's that? Well, I don't know if their Black Friday sale started, but I just saw that price because it was $29 last night and it was $23 today. I was like, that's pretty good, man. So, and you sold me on that last night, man. So,
bro, I'm telling you, you're missing out if you're not playing it. What are you doing with your life?
That music in there. Yeah, you're asking a good question. I can't answer it right now.
Yeah, I don't know what you were doing with your life before, but whatever it was crappy and incomplete. It was incomplete. That's what I'll say. It was incomplete.
Well, it'll be here tomorrow, so maybe my life can get back on to normal. And
Oh, hold on. So you didn't buy it digitally? You bought it physically?
Yeah, it was on Amazon. $23.99.
Oh, okay.
It's like, why not? It's like it's probably not going to get much cheaper than that anyway. So why not?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I have it physically, so that's the way I'm doing it. So yeah,
it was still $50 on the PS store last night. I looked at it.
$50.
$50 was like $23. That's
every penny, doggy.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Yep. You sold me on it last night.
Roy, did you ever hear of Final Bar Line?
No, I haven't. No, but if you said sort of Final Fantasy and Guitar Hero, it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I sold them on it last night. Yeah.
Oh man, and it's got that remastered. Some of it's that remastered music from the remasters herself, and it's got original music. I'm a sucker for that. So, call me crazy, which I am.
Crazy? You crazy doggy?
That I am.
Yes. All right. So today we're going to be we're continuing our long review of games in the 1990s.
Yep.
Right? We're going on to games from 1998. And so in 1998, now Doggy and I found out last night that 1998 was stacked. Holy crap, were there so many good games in 1998. Like between him and I, without even really trying hard, we listed like 30 games that both of either him or I or both of us enjoyed. And that's just us two. Then Roy sent me a list, added like 10 more games, and I'm like, whoa. So 1998 was like the year, guys. Like we've been doing these games from 1990, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think before like 1992, 1993 was like pretty heavy, but nothing has hit as hard as 1998. So apologies. There will be some exclusions. We run out of time. Roy has to go to sleep before the sun comes up, or else he dies or something because he's a vampire. So
That's it.
Yeah, he's got to go back into his casket, and so he's really into it. We're really excited into it, right? So, guys, list any games you want us to review or to give you our opinions on in the chat. There'll be an area of the show where we do some of the games you guys recommend. So let us know at that time. So be thinking about it, but not yet. All right, but let's check in with the iconic chat. RWK88 joins us. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP.
What's up?
Hip Elf joins us. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, watching the fight plus y'all. That's right. The MVP chat's going in.
Oh, I want to
fight. Yeah, the Mike Tyson fight is on.
I actually just want to see one particular part of it, which I'm sure most of the world wants to see. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be clips everywhere in like an hour or so.
My favorite part of it being on Netflix is that I don't need to watch it live. I can watch it right after the show if I wanted to, and just skip to the good parts.
I'm gonna like slow it down and like watch frame by frame certain points. Fast forward is, I like the slow motion hits.
Wow.
Definitely want to see that sweat flying.
The sweat flying, yeah. Jan 907I joins us. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Shout out to Piggles, the panel member with this lovely lady right here on the Mystic Mayhem podcast.
Majestic. We're majestic.
Yeah, majestic.
I like that. Mystic Mayhem. I like that. Actually sounds pretty good. Where were you when I was naming the show?
I wasn't asked. Or trust me.
To be fair, it was a brainstorming session that went too long.
You were like, "Oh, you're a guy. We don't care what you say about the name."
Yeah. This was the ladies only area. No guys allowed.
No guys allowed. You can't sit with us, Axel. Get out of here. Yeah, no. Let me think. Okay, yeah. So Piggles, shout out to her. Thank you so much. You are the real MVP. Shout out to Splendiferous. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Says yes, y'all. You don't stop. KRS1. I don't know what KRS1 means.
I have no idea.
And because of KRS1. Sorry, that's in Sublime.
Is that a song?
Yeah, KRS1's a Sublime song.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I didn't know that song. I didn't listen to Sublime when I was young.
Not sure if that's what he's referred to, but
I don't know that song. I listen to Sublime. I just don't know that song.
Oh, I see.
Is that Sublime Splendiferous? Is that what that?
I don't know. Let's see. My beautiful wife, she's the MVP of my life. She says, Mr. Doggy's background is different. Yeah, Doggy, what's up with that?
Because my computer,
you're ripping me off, bro. You're
the
ripping
PC
me off.
and the arcade. Almost just threw it out the door. It was making Doggy a little mad, it was being a Souls-like kind of to me. You know, I was about
It was
ready to
being
get
a Souls
past-
like?
Yeah, it was being a soul like. No, it wasn't working, so I had to move out here. So it'll work. At least I could have that fix.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Doggy had issues. All right,
Issues.
let's see.
Yeah, I had issues. There you go. That's what
We
it
all
was.
had issues. Yes. Oh, and it's RWK88's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, happy birthday!
Well, somebody at Pinky, I think, said it first, so
Oh.
he thanked her.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's his birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday! Yeah,
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Woo!
maybe that's what was wrong with my
Congratulations.
computer.
Let's see. I want to fight Tyson to make 20 million. Yeah, who doesn't, man? RWK88 says this podcast is an Xbox. Yeah, everything's an Xbox now. No, don't assault your arcades, doggy.
No, I wouldn't have did that. I'd have just took it through threw it out the back door or something. That's where it needs to
Oh
go.
my.
It's raining, so it belongs out there. And yes, I would take a blow to the dome from Tyson for $20. Oh yeah,
I mean, yeah.
go down and be done with it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not, man? You got to make that money. Make that money.
I'm gonna have to go against you both on that. There is not enough money in existence in this universe to get me to step into a ring with Tyson. Absolutely not. Not a chance. No. I'm old enough to remember that man being a. You guys are old enough.
Baddest man on the planet.
That man's hands were registered friggin' weapons, for crying out loud.
Wait, hold on
I
a
care
second, Death Dealer.
Feet in the grave. Not happening.
Hold on a second. Did you just say you're old enough to remember? You do know you're the youngest person here,
Ooh,
right?
I said you guys. Well, I said first me, but you guys too. I corrected it. You guys are old enough to remember too.
She was
That
saying
man
we're
is
old.
psycho. And yes,
Mike
actually, we all
Tyson
know
is
you
he's
are
all right.
much,
He's all right. I'm just
much older than I am.
RWK88 says, yeah, I'm 36 today. Yeah.
Well, happy birthday.
Okay. So hold on. I gotta ask everybody. Seeing as we're talking about this, let's see. Who do you got for this fight?
Oh, for the fight. Yeah. Okay.
Tyson, or what's the other guy's name? Paul.
I don't even know. That was
What's his
Jake
last name?
Paul?
Is it?
Jake Paul, I think.
Yeah, I thought
Jake
Jake.
Paul,
I
yeah.
thought there was Jake in there. Yeah.
Jake.
All right, so I'm just
Paul.
gonna say Paul.
The
Nice
other
little
guy. Who
Yeah,
cares?
that other dude.
The
Yeah.
guy who's about to be laid out on the ground. Like, I'm wondering if there's about to be a mass murderer streamed on Netflix. Kind of thinking.
Yeah.
All right, and it is RWK's birthday. He says he is 36 today. Happy birthday to you, sir.
Yeah, happy
That's
birthday.
awesome.
That's
All right,
okay.
so who do you got? That dealer, Tyson or Paul?
Tyson, obviously.
All right. Roy, who do you got?
Yeah, looking at the two of them, I think it's got to be Tyson.
All right, Tyson. Doggy, who do you got?
Tyson gonna embarrass him.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I saw a clip just like not even an hour ago where Tyson slapped that guy and it just like rippled through his entire body. And it's like, bro, that was just a slap. Okay.
Yeah.
Not even. No.
Well,
No.
Mike Tyson is 58. Paul is
Okay.
in his 30s, probably.
Yep. Yeah.
And on steroids, I'm imagining.
Yeah, whatever. I hate to say it, but I could knock out a 60-year-old. I'm just saying, like, I don't want to sound rude, right? I'm not even in my. I'm not even. I'm in my early 40s. Now, do I want Tyson to win? Yes, but do I think he's going to win against a young, someone in their 30s when he's 60? He's like 58, whatever, right? He's like 60 years old. I'm sorry, man. Tyson might knock himself out with a heart attack during this fight.
Yeah.
That's
The
all I'm saying.
longer it goes,
That's
yeah, the worse it is for
Though.
him. Yeah.
There's video of him training. And
Yeah, and if you're a boxing person, you saw that he was kind of being clumsy on it.
well,
It looked now to the untrained eye that looks
I
great,
don't
right?
think it really matters.
But
I really
yeah,
don't think it matters. This guy, Jake Paul's not a boxer.
he's not.
just
That he's not.
starting.
It's funny. So you got an old actual boxer against a young wannabe boxer, right? And Jake Paul is 27. Okay, whatever. So even more, at 27 years old, I knew I could knock out a 60-year-old guy. I'm sorry, man. At 27 years old, one punch I probably could have killed a 60-year-old guy. Yeah, just saying. Just saying.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think you're wrong, but
All
I
right,
mean,
look, if Tyson doesn't win in the first 6 rounds, he's not winning.
Oh
Just
yeah.
throwing it out there. He is not winning. If he doesn't hit Paul hard enough in the first 6 rounds, he's out.
honestly, I don't think you should make it past the first round. If he makes it past the first round, I'm gonna think there's something wrong, and he's being paid not necessarily to box so much as to stand in a ring with this guy. Because
Yeah.
Tyson knocked people out in less than 30 seconds before.
Yeah, when he was in
So-
his 20s. Now he's in his 60s. Just saying.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying Tyson is a pushover. That's not what I'm saying, okay? I'm just saying
You're
that
acting
against
like
a young
58
athlete.
is ancient. It's really not that old. It's not that old.
Hip Elf says that the Paul guy's 27.
Yeah.
So
No.
not even half his age.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. RWK has a very good point here. Tyson has a pet tiger. He's winning tonight. Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah. That's pretty manly right there.
That tip's it in his favor. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Now, personally, like I said, I think Paul is gonna win, but in my heart, I want Tyson to win. I just don't think that the odds are in Tyson's favor.
You're just against it because he's 58. If he were a few years younger, you'd be like, yeah, it's fine. If he was in his 40s, it'd be fine. But because he's in his 50s, he's too old.
There's a saying that old people say, and one of those sayings is, "This is a young man's game." Have you ever heard that one?
Yeah,
in
I've also
sports?
heard that if there's an old guy doing a job that young people die in, that's not somebody you should test.
I'm just saying, boxing is a young man's sport. That's all I'm saying. There's a reason why 58 people aren't boxing champions. It's a young man's sport. Right now, I want Tyson to win for sure. And my wife is right. Tyson, stop at Axel 1324. Mike Tyson is the champion. Yeah. Hey, man, I'm getting people upset over here. When Tyson hits you, it will feel like a freight train ran you over. There you go. But that's how we feel. How does the chat feel? How does the chat feel on this?
And the chat says 88% say they're going with Tyson. Only 11% are saying Paul.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and this is exactly my point, Hip Al. If Paul wins, they will say it's because Tyson is old. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm going to say if Paul wins, it's because Tyson took a purpose dive.
Oh, you think he just
Oh,
came
yeah.
to the Sega odds?
Dude, he's old enough to not care.
not the Sega odds.
He's old enough not to
biggest
care. He's getting
odds.
paid to step in the ring. That'd be the only way, is if he just honestly isn't trying.
I'm gonna go with that too. That's
My opinion.
Yep.
But I'm not a boxing specialist. I don't know. I just know Tyson's one of the few old boxers that still can put like a coherent, full flowing sentence out. Just saying.
All right. Well, enough of that. Let's get to it. Okay. Let's get to it today. All right. So we are going to be ranking games in 1998. And as usual, the rankings are only 3 rankings. It was great in 1998, and it's great in 2024. In other words, you played it back then, you think it's awesome enough to keep playing it today. It's great in 1998, but it sucks in 2024. In other words, you thought it was great back then, but you wouldn't recommend it today. You wouldn't be caught playing it today. And it sucked in 1998, and you're 100% sure it still sucks. All right. We ready to get started, guys?
Yeah, let's rock and roll. Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. So, the first game is loading. Literally loading. So the first game up is X-Men vs. Street Fighter, the arcade port on the PlayStation. And Doggy, start us off.
Yeah, let's see. This one was after Children of the Atom and the original Marvel superheroes, and it incorporates quite a bit from those move-wise and stuff. This is also the first game in the Marvel vs. Capcom series. In the arcade, which was definitely better than the PlayStation version. Yeah, it was kind of a tag team thing, right? So you'd have like this guy's got Ryu, Cyclops, and you can tag between the two, and tag one guy in, the other guy would refill with power. It was only one round. Just went through your two guys. When your two guys were out of power, that was it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like 17 characters or so. Plenty of X-Men guys, plenty of great Street Fighter characters. The PlayStation port did suffer from losing some options. It didn't look as good, and it didn't have the tag team mode, so that kind of cost it in a little way. And the loading times were, if I remember correct, were just god awful. But other than that, it was a great play and fighting game. It had such great characters and all that stuff. So just like any normal Capcom game. So it was always fun. But the arcade version was way superior, of course. So anyway, I guess I got to rank it. I'll give it great back then, but it sucks now. It's just it doesn't. I'm not going to go back to that one. It's just doesn't stand up. So many great other games, and I think Axel's tried to talk and is muted.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Now, to be specific, we're talking about the 1998 version release, okay?
Yeah.
Not the re-releases, not the one that released just recently. None of that, okay? The 1998 version.
Yeah, the one on the PlayStation. Yeah.
All right. So here we go. Roy, did you ever play this one?
I have not played this one. I'm aware of it, and it's like a legacy of the whole Capcom, Marvel Street Fighter series. But no, I haven't really played any of these. I don't believe I didn't play this back on PlayStation, so I don't have too much to say with this one, I'm afraid.
All right, so no comment.
No.
Diller, did you play X-Men versus Street Fighter?
I did. I would have to say it wasn't the worst game. It wasn't the best. It was on the road to being good, though. So, I mean, hey, it helped other games along the way. I would probably rank it. It was good then, not great now.
No.
Yeah, so I keep it where it is.
And I didn't play it on the PlayStation, so I have nothing to say. So, yeah. There you go. First game up, X-Men versus Street Fighter. That's where it goes.
All right.
All right, Roy, you ready?
I think so.
About Spyro? Is this Spyro?
Spyro.
Hero.
Spyro, my friend.
Spyro the Dragon. I'm just kidding. Well, talk to us about Spyro the Dragon.
Oh man, what was I going to say about it? It just, I suppose, obviously, PlayStation in this point, in '98, is the original PlayStation is properly hitting its peak. You're getting really good 3D platformers, and Spyro is got to be up there with sort of some of the best, especially from that time. Obviously, the game got its remaster. The trilogy got a remaster a few years ago, but they still play the same as these originals, and the gameplay is absolutely solid. So you can easily, in my opinion, you can easily jump back into these and just have a great time with them. You got simple enough sort of combat to do. There's really good traversal with the jumping and the gliding and everything. There's different levels. There's sort of flying levels, and once we got a huge speed, it's a lot of fun, basically.
All right. So, where would you put Spyro?
I would say, even though you can get the prettier remasters, I would still say it's great in '98 and still great mechanically to play in 2024.
Awesome.
Yes.
Can't go wrong with that. Let's see.
Yes.
Where it stays. Death Dealer, Spyro.
I didn't play it. I have no comment.
All right. No comment. Doggy, Spyro.
I don't think I played this either. If I did, it wasn't much. So, yeah, no comment as well.
All right. And I've only played the remasters. I never played the original. So I have nothing to say. So there you go. Spyro stays here. Now, I have heard a lot of people love this game.
Oh,
They love this game. So I've only ever heard good things about it. And I've only played a little bit of the remake because, it's on Game Pass. So checking it out. Checking it out.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
That's right. Because we
Yeah,
own it now. He owns it. That's why he got renamed from Spyro to Spyro. That's his Xbox name.
This is Xbox name. He's edgy.
That's right. It's gonna be cool now. That's right. Okay. Oh, this thing has been going this whole time. I can't believe it. Okay. Let me see where I want to start this. Give me 1 second, you guys. I am scanning, enhancing.
Scanning and enhancing.
You know what? We're just gonna have to go here. All right. So the game I want to bring up first is called Star Wars Rogue Squadron on the Nintendo 64. My God, did I love this game. I played the bejesus out of this game. I couldn't get enough of this game, right? This game to me is just it was finally like a really good Star Wars game. The flight mechanics were good. The fact that you played through 2 movies was awesome. Of course, you were part of the infamous Rogue Squadron. You were not Luke Skywalker, but he was there, right? And you were just playing over Mos Eisley. You went over a bunch of places, and you ended in the Battle of Hoth, which is the beginning of the Empire Strikes Back, right? So this game was just so cool to me because you got to play as an X-Wing, an A-Wing, and a Y-Wing, doing different things. You know, X-Wings, you usually intercepting stuff. A-Wings, you were, assaulting stuff. And Y-Wings, you were bombing stuff. Oh, and you also got to play as a speeder, which is even cool. A snow speeder, right? And it had the harpoon on it, and you could take down big walkers. And it was just so awesome to me to finally play this game and be in the movies. I really feel that this game did so much well for the franchise. It had a great story, great mechanics. Loved it. To this day, I love this game. There's no way. And I know that they released a new Rogue Squadron, but that's not the same. Squadrons. Sorry, not Rogue Squadron. Squadrons, which is different. But this was a campaign, and they need to redo this. And I love this game. Now, graphically, of course, it doesn't hold up, but the mechanics and would I have fun with it still? Yes, I would. You bet your butt I would. So for me, this is great 1998, great in 2024. Death Dealer, Star Wars Squadrons.
Yeah, I played it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I'm gonna have to move it down. I wasn't a fan of this particular game.
Unbelievable.
I found it slightly boring. Sorry, buddy.
Boring? All right, so where would you put this one?
Yeah, I'll be nice.
No need to do that.
Nice. Be
Okay,
yourself.
well, then sucked in 98, sucks in 2024.
Oh my God! All
So
right.
I'm going for the joke. You said don't be nice. I'm fine. I'll go for the joke.
No, be honest. I want you to be honest.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's not my fault that your honesty is mean. That's your fault.
Good point. I stand by my statement. I mean, it's true for me. I didn't like it.
There you go. All right, let's see. Doggy, Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, I never played this one. I've seen you talk about it before, and it looks fun. It looks super fun. The space battles look way better than, stuff like Starfield. So, I mean, so just for that, I've got to give it some brownie points. But I never played it, so I can't really honestly give it a good rating. But it does look fun.
Yeah. Roy, did you ever play Star Wars Rogue Squadron?
I did not play this one, but I can imagine it on the 64, like with the joystick as such you've got on the 64 pad there. I can imagine it would have played pretty well looking at it. I hope it would have done anyway.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. It was the perfect thing for it. All right, well, rules are rules. So it only scored 4 points, which means so 4 divided by 2 is right in the middle. So there it is.
Nice.
There it is. Brought to you by Metro Death Dealer. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding, Death Dealer. All right. Death Dealer, take it out. Did you play the next game? Is Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit? What a mouthful.
No, actually, I don't think I did play this one.
Oh.
Sorry.
All right, no, nothing from Death Dealer. All right,
On this one.
Roy, Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit.
This one skipped me by. I think I was busy with Gran Turismo and Colin McRae. I didn't get to Need for Speed on the original PlayStation, so sorry.
Okay, so he didn't play this one. Okay, Doggy, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Yeah, I love this game. I knew he was going to talk about this, so I was asking my friend at work. I was like, "You remember Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I love that game. I remember that stuff." And yeah, that's what we did. We sat around and played this game. The Hot Pursuit mode was awesome. Those cops were so tough. They were all over you. I mean, it was so much fun. It also had a tournament mode where you could go through and unlock more cars, more courses. The game played excellent. I love finding the shortcuts in the tracks. The music was incredible on it. It wasn't licensed music, but it was still good music. Yeah, I just played most of those Need for Speed games were so much fun back then, but this was just so the tracks were so awesome. The cars in there were cool. Yeah, you had Lamborghinis, you had Ferraris, BMWs, all kinds, the exotic cars. But yeah, it just played so good. But that Hot Pursuit mode where the cops were chasing this stuff, that was just a blast. And the split screen playing
How did they
two-player,
stop you?
ramming you and crashing you and trapping you in, or there would be spike strips and roadblocks, and they'd pull anything out to get you. They were mean. They were ruthless. So you'd have to get pretty good to get through your race against them. So yeah, it was fun, and it played so well, and we spent so much time playing this game. And it really, at the time, it looked really, really good. At the time, and I was going to say now, I can't remember if the analog was out by then or not, but yeah, it played real good. Yeah, it just played real good. It was a great playing game. So if you ever, I don't know if they ever remake these, but check this out if you could ever get a chance, man. You'd be surprised how good this was for an old racer. So loved it. Many hours on this game. So with that being said, great back in 1998. I mean, I don't know. It'd be fun to play today, but I mean, standing up to today's standards, I'll be real about it. The word sucks is kind of harsh, but we'll give it that. We'll put it there.
The word
I mean,
sucks is kinda harsh.
it's just, I mean, looking at it, it doesn't stand up to the same standards, but it would still be fun to play. So but many, many hours sunk into that game, passing the controller, playing with friends. Love that game.
You're going Deathy Wethy for the win because of her review of Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I actually remember playing this. My friend had it, and he had a steering wheel attachment for it. And it was so weird because we would sit on a chair with the pedals and put the steering wheel on our lap, of course, because that's just the way you played back then.
Yeah.
And it was just so weird to play it. But I remember seeing this game thinking it looked so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just such a good looking game. And it was fun to run away from these cops and try to get away. And, like you had races and then you had pursuits and then races and pursuits.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And it was neat. It was real neat. And some races, like you would be in a race and they would get ended by a pursuit. It's like, oh, the way to win this race is to not get caught. It was like super cool. Yeah. And the cops, they would always have to ram me. That's just the way it was.
That's what they do. They just have to, ram me and just.
And it made me so mad because I would ram them, but their cars were like on rails.
Yeah.
I would ram them and nothing would happen, but they would like touch my car and I'd spin out. Pissed me off so much.
It was kind of, it was aggravating in its way. Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember thinking this game looked so good back then.
Yeah, it did.
Of course, this is pre-GT. And so this was like the best looking game at the time when it came out.
Right. Yep.
So, but I got to tell you, When I think of games back then and now, I never think of this game.
Yeah.
But so I guess it was great because I had a good time, but I would never play it today because I forgot about it.
Yeah.
If Doggy wouldn't have mentioned it, I would have never remembered it. All right, so that's the first 4 games we have, guys. Be sure to let us know what you think in the chat. We love to hear what you guys have to say. I know we're competing against Tyson and Paul. How's the fight going? Anybody watching it on the side over there?
I'm sure they've got other matches going on, like
let me check in on my phone. Right. Let me check in on
dark
Netflix
matches
here.
or whatever they call them in boxing.
That's great.
Let me see.
They're dark matches in wrestling. I don't know what they call them in boxing.
Hold on. Where's the
What's it on anyway? What is it on? What's it?
It's on Netflix.
Netflix. Okay, I don't even have Netflix.
All I know is Netflix, and I didn't even hear about it being on Netflix until like today, I think, because I've been wondering like where are they fighting? What's streaming this?
Is it like why can't I find it?
Tyson was saying he's like it's not going to be on HBO, and I was like, where is it showing?
It hasn't started yet. It hasn't even started yet.
So it starts at 9. Okay.
1900 Central time. So it starts in 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. Okay. Yeah.
15 minutes. We get
all right,
Tyson versus Paul. Or
all
Paul versus Tyson, whichever way you want to go at it.
And of course, we'll have about 30 minutes of glitz and glamour before the thing starts. So yeah.
Right. All right. Roy, I'm going to let you take this one. Talk to us about this game called MediEvil.
Oh, mate, MediEvil. Another sort of early PlayStation classic, kind of a franchise. I guess there was a couple of games and some remakes. But this one, so you've got this kind of linear type sort of adventure game. You play as, I think this guy's name is Dan. So basically the idea of this game, of the story, was he was a warrior in a fight against a wizard. He died sort of unceremoniously by taking an arrow in the eye, but he was wrongly sort of thought of as a hero, so buried in this hero's sort of crypt as such. The wizard guy comes back some, like, I don't know, 100 years later or something, and Dan gets resurrected as this sort of skeleton dude who's missing his jaw, can't talk. And you basically have to go and fight some monsters and, take on the bad guy. And it's something which is, simple enough to play. It's got a lot of fun to it. There's nothing kind of that you wouldn't really expect. But it's a good little game. Another one which got itself a remake, which just, again, prettied it up. But they didn't need to change really the controls because, again, mechanically it works really well. Love it.
You love it. All right, so they just did a remake. So that means people wanted to play it in 2024, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. The remake, I don't know how old it is now. To be fair, it's been a few years. But yeah, people really like this game. They remade it once actually on the PSP, which I think was MediEvil Resurrection, and then they did like a PlayStation 4 remake as well. There was a second game which I think was also on the first PlayStation, so it's a popular game, definitely. As to where I'd rank it, I think if I'm going with the same kind of like thing of like it's a fun game to play. You could still go back in and play it now, and you've got the options of the original and the remake. I'm struggling. I'm going to say it's still pretty great in 24.
All right, still great in 2024.
Yes.
All right. Did you ever play? What was this guy's name? Dan?
Yes, Dan.
Did you ever embody your inner Dan?
I did. I actually thought this was a fever dream.
A what?
I thought I had made this game up. I played it at a friend's house years ago, and I've been trying to. I thought I made it up. Every time I've tried to describe this game to somebody, they're like, "I don't know what you're talking about," or they're naming every other game, but this one. So I thought I had made it up in like a fever dream. I did not know this was. I'm glad it's obviously not made up. I'm gonna have to go find me a copy of it now.
Yes, good.
I liked it. I liked it then, and I'd love to play it now. So yeah, great then, great now.
All right, 2 votes. 2 votes up there. 2 votes up there.
No.
Doggy, did you play MediEvil?
I'm not recalling this. Ah, man. It looks really cool, though. This looks like something I could get into. No, I don't recall it. Even though, like I was telling Axel, it seemed like I played almost every PlayStation game somehow because I knew somebody that worked at DADC, Sony DADC, and you always like it seemed like any when new PlayStation game came out, I got to play it because they brought it home from the factory or whatever, you know. But no, I do not remember this. But this looks super fun. Just kind of looks like it's got a little hack and slash element to it, some adventure, and collected treasure chests and stuff. Yeah, this would be right up my alley. But no, I didn't play it, unfortunately. So shame. You say they remade it?
Yeah,
Yes,
got a remake.
Yeah, got a remake.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, do it.
You sold me on it.
All right. Well, okay. I played a demo of this game. Back in the day when they used to do demo disc.
Yep.
And I hated it.
Love it.
I hated it.
Hated
it so much. It's not even funny. But I didn't play the whole game, so it doesn't count because demos weren't complete.
Yeah.
So my vote don't count. So there you go. MediEvil joined Spyro up there. Let me check in with the chat real quick. Shout out to Jago Kuka. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Let's see. Katie Taylor versus Serrano rematch B. A dope fight as well. First one was Animal. Okay, cool. Jago Kukin says this game hurts my eyes. And he said MediEvil sucked in 98 and sucks now. Ouch.
Oh, man.
Doggy, he has actually this would be a perfect area for you to just talk away for a little bit while I do some setup stuff, Doggy. What happened to your barcade, bro?
Yeah, the barcade caught on fire right before the show. No, the laptop I used out there is being a complete piece of trash. The fact that it's actually still sitting in there and not thrown out in the yard somewhere is actually a miracle because it was making me mad. Like I was saying earlier, it was kind of being like a Souls-like. It was making me mad. So I had to come out here in the front room and just use this. So luckily this worked. So hopefully next week I'll be back in the barcade. If not, then and that doesn't work, I guess good thing it's Black Friday and I can get another laptop for out there. Because it's kind of weird. True. It's kind of weird not being in.
Get yourself like a $2,000 computer, bro. Just do it.
No, it'll be.
Everybody does it.
I wouldn't even need that. I wouldn't even need like nothing for that. Like nothing like that for out there. I just use it for podcasting. I could get the cheapest thing I could find, really, and then it could break down like that piece of junk out there. That's actually a nice computer that I had out there. It's like a gaming PC instead, or a gaming laptop. And stuff, so.
It was a gaming PC back then.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like 4 or 5.
Nowadays,
years old,
it's
so.
it barely make it as a NASA calculator.
Oh, it acts weird sometimes. So, but nothing like it's done today. And I kept restarting it, and then it was saying it was cleaning it up, and then it just sat there for a half hour, and it said not to turn it off. I turned it off anyway because it was making me mad, and then it just kept getting worse. So.
And by the way, I'm just giving Dougie a hard time. Of course, he is still my bud, and he is still doing awesome stuff.
Well, thank you, but you keep making me mad. We might have to. That might change, man.
Dougie, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we'll always get along. That's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, but it's fine. We'll find a way to get over it. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
We'll work it out somehow.
There you go. Jago Cookin says you could just get a leapfrog for this podcast. Yeah. You go get yourself one of those learner leapfrogs.
If that'll do it, then let's go. I'll do it. Yep.
It'd be funny.
That's funny.
A leapfrog.
All right. It looks like we're talking about Tekken 3 next.
Tekken 3?
Tekken 3. Did you ever play Tekken 3?
I'm not sure if I've played Tekken 3 or not. I know I've played the Tekken games, but I'm not sure if I know I didn't play it back then, so my opinion doesn't count. I've only played the remaster, so sorry.
There you go. All right. Roy, Tekken 3.
Yeah, I do get some early Tekken stuff a little bit mixed up, so I apologize. But I do remember playing Tekken 3. I think it was the first Tekken game that I played, and I really liked the combat. I think I've always quite liked the kind of the crunchy combat of Tekken. And I liked as well. You had obviously a mix of different characters. You could unlock. There was the scientist guy who always fell on the floor. There was the little dinosaur that breathed fire and stuff. And there was some cool mini games as well. Like, it was just the first one that had like Tekken Ball, like the volleyball game, and
Tekken Ball, yeah.
Yeah, and the Force mode that was kind of like a Streets of Rage type thing, where you kind of go into the foreground and the background. Like that was, yes, yeah, that was. I loved that back in the day. I played so much of that, and even though it was hard, like, yeah, this is a cool game. Like there's been a lot of Tekken since, but I think 3 is probably still up there as one of the top ones, I would expect.
All right. Awesome, man. I lost my Tekken thumbnail. There it is. All right. So where would you put Tekken 3?
I would say for what it has, considered like modern day Tekken has its issues with, with like modern day gaming and microtransactions and always online and all that sort of stuff. I reckon you could go back to Tekken 3 today and have a really good time with it. You could play through that thing, you can unlock your characters, you haven't got to pay an extra penny. Yeah, I reckon it's still pretty great. Preach!
Yes. All right. Doggy, Tekken 3.
Yeah, I mean Tekken's were always fun. I forgot about those modes that Roy was talking about. That was good remembering that. I forgot they had those. That was cool mini games they had. Tekken's always played good. They fought good. Like you said, there was plenty of different characters to fit any style. They named off a bunch. There's even a panda in there if you wanted. I mean, there was just any fighting. It catered to you could have this and play it at a friend's house, and it was fun for everybody because it was, in my opinion, it was more just a button masher as compared to a virtual fighter that was, the real deal 3D fighter that, that everybody wanted to be at that point in time. And Soul Blade was better too, in my opinion. But Tekken was always fun back then. Good fight style, fun for all. Like you said, those mini games, that was cool. So yeah, of course I enjoyed it back then. But as for today's standards, yeah, Tekken, I'm sorry, but you want to have to put in the sucks pile now. But you were great back then. So
yeah. All right, sorry, where did you put it?
In the middle there.
In the middle. All right. And I didn't play Tekken. So it goes right here. It stays here. It didn't get the pointage to stay up there. So yeah. Sorry, Roy. Sorry.
No, that's cool.
Blame Doggy. Don't blame me.
Blame Doggy. Don't blame me. Yeah.
We'll have words after. It's fine.
Just you wait, Doggy. Just you wait. Your rhymes with grass? No, I'm just kidding.
We're about to have another boxing match right here, folks.
Yeah. Yeah, this was free. You don't have to subscribe to any. You just have to subscribe to the channel. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Hit the like button.
Yeah.
Hit that like button. Jago Kukin says Tekken 3 was good in 98, but Tekken 24 is a pass.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I just, it's tough to live up to the standards of today. So
there you go. All right, I'm gonna let Doggy take this one out because he just couldn't stop talking about it yesterday. And that is now this is called Everybody's Golf / Hot Shots Golf, depending on which region you were in. So Doggy, Hot Shots Golf.
Everybody's Golf, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember it as Hot Shots Golf. Yeah. So
depending on the region you were in.
I think I remember, like you just said, I remember playing this as a demo first. I was like, this is really cool. So I bought this game, and it was so cool. It had a humorous style to it, but yet it was still, good simulation. The guy still played serious. You know what I'm saying? So I liked this. The swing meter was good. The courses were cool. It had some kind of story mode or something where you could unlock a bunch of new golfers, new courses and stuff. So it had plenty of replay value. Just at the time, really, it's just a cool, fun golf game. There's really the worst part about it, the music on it was awful. I remember the music being awful, but and you could change that little black dot that was there. You could put spin on the ball. I remember you could do that. I think different golfers had different abilities and stuff, I believe. No, just all around fun game. Had some comic relief to it. Yeah, just good fun game at that time. I remember playing it a ton, playing it with friends. That's why I liked it so much. Any game you could always play with friends and have a good time with was, tops for me. So, yeah, Hot Shots Golf was a game I actually bought on PS and loved it. And it was a great back then. I don't know what to say about like right now. I mean, it would probably be great to play it, but I mean, probably stand it up to today's standards. I'll put it in the middle.
All right. So
it was super fun,
All right. Hot Shots Golf. In the middle it goes. Death Dealer, Hot Shots Golf.
Absolutely not. Nope. Never played it.
Okay. Pass. All right. Roy, Hot Shots Golf.
Yeah, so in my territory, it was Everybody's Golf.
See, told you, doggy, told you.
There you go.
Yeah, dropping the facts on you.
And then one day it was like, "What's Hot Shots Golf? What's that about?" So I've got the game. I haven't got this one, but I've got it on like PlayStation Vita, PSP, and a few others. I think. I never played it on the PlayStation, so I wouldn't really have much of a comment. But I think looking at it, the animation style is really different compared to the rest of the series. Which I find quite interesting.
This is ported to the PSP Direct, so it's like the exact version.
Okay.
So if you played it on the PSP, you played it.
The one I played mostly, I think, is the Vita one, and then I played like maybe PS2 or something. I think might be the earliest one I played. I haven't played this one though, so I won't really sort of give any comment.
Okay, well, because I knew that this was a direct port to my PSP and I was deploying, I got it, and I loved it. I don't know, man. Like, this is one of those games that's on my wish list right now because I want it back because I have such good memories of this game. And the reason I have such good memories of this game is because it's awesome. It's not overly complex, right? It's not like super simulated, right?
Right.
You can just have a good time. You can play against your friends, talk trash to them, tell them that they're not a hot shot, they're a dud shot, stuff like that. And, it's just like, I don't know. I really loved this game. It was super simple and focused on fun. And that's what I was into, right? I just wanted some fun, not simulation. I didn't want to like learn everything there is to know about the type of grass and all this crap, right? I just wanted to play some golf.
Yeah.
And so I played Hot Shots Golf, and I would love to play it today. I don't care what anybody says. I would put it up here.
It was simple to pick up and play too. That's what was,
Oh man, it was so good.
You could just take it to your friend's house, be like, "Yeah, let's play this," and they'd pick it up, and everybody be having fun with it. So, like you said, talking trash.
Relaxing this is. Yeah. No music, just you and the golf.
No music. Yeah, don't turn the music on. It's rough. Just like I said, rough.
I mean, it was just I don't know. To me, it was such a good game. I had such good memories with this game.
Yep.
I'm 100% sure I could have beat Doggy. Just saying.
Oh, I doubt it, bro. I doubt it.
Rules.
Get some practice in.
It goes down here. And as the end of the story, it goes down here. All right, Roy, I want to let you take this one away because I've been looking at this for like 30 minutes and I have no idea what the hell I'm looking at.
Oh, no.
Anyway, Roy, I don't even know what to call this game.
This game, this is an interesting one. This is Kurushi Final, which is the second Kurushi game, and it's kind of I guess you'd say it's a puzzle game. It's kind of like a part puzzle game, part IQ test, I would say. It's one of exactly. It's one of those random ones that I found on a shelf back in the day in like a Blockbuster video store, and thought, I'll hire that and give it a go. And it's basically like you've got obviously a little person there. You've got your blocks rolling towards you. I think you've got to select the square beneath you, like with the X button, and then select it again to delete the square the cube as it comes over. And then the green ones are like an area effect where you get you get like 9 in a go or something if you activate it.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is basically
he just did
the last, and then you just want to last as long as possible without getting crushed by the cubes. If you can get a couple of lives, but the further the levels go, the more difficult it gets, to the more blocks you'll start with that you've got to sort of get rid of. And it's a very different game from probably a lot of stuff that was out at the time and on the PlayStation especially, but there was definitely some fun to be had with it if you wanted to kind of sit down and challenge yourself.
Yeah, it does look
Interesting. Okay. Death Dealer. Sorry. Before we get to Death Dealer, I'm sorry. First things first, let me catch up with the chat.
Yeah.
Jago Kukin said, I never played this game, but Outlaw Golf was fire. Was that back then?
Oh, no.
Outlaw
I
Golf.
think that's
I'm
PS2 era. Let's see.
trying to
Played
remember
this.
what it was.
Never played this, but it looks cozy. He's talking about Hot Shot Golfs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And John 07I also says PGA Tour 96 on PS1 was my favorite. Jago, did you ever play that one? Yeah. All right. Sorry,
Yeah.
keep going. All right, so this was the IQ test. It had two names.
That's all right. It looks like it. Yeah.
Long play of IQ Intelligent Qube was what it would have been called here. It would have been called IQ Intelligent Qube. Did you ever play it, Death Dealer?
No, I've never even never seen it, never heard of it. Nothing. I'm surprised. This is so random.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Super random.
Oh, okay. But before we move on, I apologize. I'm sorry. It's hard to run a show, guys. Where would you put this one, Roy?
It's difficult because, like, there isn't
It's
really
pretty
anything
simple.
else like Kurushi. It's simple, addictive gameplay, but can be very challenging. Like I say, I think if you wanted to like pop it in now and play it, you would still get a lot out of it. It's just for that challenge. So I would say it's great then, great now.
All right.
If
By
it's
the
what
way,
you
I
wanna
want to
play.
point out the only games that have made it up here have been Roy's games.
Yeah,
I
I
just want
guess
to point that out.
me
So
and
far.
me and Axel just brought some junk, I guess.
Some duds.
So I brought some very good choices. Clearly, that's what you're saying.
This is why we bring Roy in, because he brings the fire.
Yes, that's it.
All right, Doggy, IQ Qube.
I'm a Death Dealer. I've never heard of this, never played it, never seen it. This is my first time here with this, so looks like a cool puzzler, but I can't speak on it. And it's an IQ test, so I'm sure I'd been pretty good at it, right?
Right?
Oh.
Yeah. So
Perfect.
all right.
I like the silence says everything. Everyone's like, right. Everyone just kind of
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Doggy, what do you say?
thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Here for you, bro. We got you.
here for you anytime.
Anyways, so when Roy said the name, oh God, what was it called over there? Kurushi Final?
Kurushi Final.
Mental blocks? I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
But Intelligence Qube, I remember seeing videos on this. Probably on XPlay or something. And because now that I've seen the gameplay more closely and he's described it, I have heard of this game. But I've never played it. But what I did hear was that it was good. So there you go.
Nice.
So I can't say anything because I never played it. So rules are rules. It stays up here again. Roy's pissed. Roy, I stayed up there. All right. Let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to some of my picks. Let's see.
Biased.
What's going on, Sir X Man? Thank you so much.
Hey, what's up?
MVP. How are you going to forget about SSX Tricky? It came out in 1998. No, it didn't.
Did it? Wasn't?
SSX Tricky was like a Xbox game.
Yeah, it was a PS2
Yeah,
and Xbox.
I thought that was PS2, but it might have came out then.
Cool Borders
How you
3,
getting
I
that?
think, came out in '98.
That
SSX
1080 game or whatever on N64.
Tricky.
I remember
Yes.
that.
SSX Tricky came out in 2001.
I was gonna say, I thought that was PS2.
All right, Sir X Man. See, this is what happens when you turn 58. This is what's going to happen to Mike Tyson. He's going to get hit in the head and start having memory lapses, just like Sir X Man.
Stop calling Tyson old, because I bet you still wouldn't fight him. Say what you want, but I bet you wouldn't fight him.
Jago Cookin says this game makes me want to play Qube. There you go.
Ooh, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And Jago's still on about Outlaw Golf. I like the aspect you could beat up on the golf lawyers in Outlaw Golf. The Happy Gilmore of golfing. Oh my gosh. All right, SSX1. He says. All right, so SSX, Extreme Racing SSX, is that what you're talking about, right?
It's the snowboarding one, isn't it? I'm assuming.
Uh,
Just
It's still a PS2 game, Sex
Wow.
Man. It's still a PS2 game. I am looking at the biggest game database on the internet, and it is not pulling anything else earlier than that.
Yeah, I don't think that EA Big was around yet.
I'm looking at all the other SSX. Nope, that's the earliest one, 2000. Yeah, sorry. I don't know where you got yours. He must have been like an insider.
He's a time traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
got
time
to try
traveling over here.
the game before everybody else. He was like a playtester or something.
Super early release.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on with the show, guys. And by the way, Sexman, thank you so much for being here. You're the real MVP.
Yeah.
If we ever do 2001 games, we'll talk about SSX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, here we go. So let's get on to a great game. So let me paint you guys a picture. Final Fantasy VII came out, took the world by storm. It was the best JRPG the world had ever played. And Squaresoft, that's right, back before they were called Square Enix, Squaresoft released another game called Final Fantasy Tactics. So of course, Final Fantasy is hot, right? I got my copy of Final Fantasy VII. I've been rocking those materials and those summons, and out comes Final Fantasy Tactics, thinking, all right, this is going to be like Final Fantasy VII times 2, and it wasn't. It was not. But that's not to say that this game isn't amazing. Right? This was probably the third big name tactic game, maybe third or fourth big name tactic game to come to consoles, right? Because you had the Shining Force series, you had the Tactics, Ogre Tactics. I don't think Fire Emblem was out in the US yet. It was not, right? Maybe on the Game Boy Advance it was, but either way, right? And then out comes Final Fantasy Tactics, and man, what a freaking game. First off, if you know me, you know I love my tactics games. You can tell that Death Dealer and Doggy have checked out. They don't care. But I am over here. I love this tactics games, and I love this game because you would think like, oh, the magic isn't great, but magic is like the best part of this game. Like, look at it. Get to freeze people. It changes the screen. It changes the environment. It just does so much. And so the point of this game is actually a political story. Back in medieval times, right? So through the political story in medieval times, this thing just freaking, the heir is young, underage. So it starts seeing as he's young, we're going to start a civil war and fight against this. And it's called the War of the Lions, right? And you play, and the main character you play is, of course, defending because you play the good guys, right? But I would be lying if he was the most interesting character, because a lot of these characters were just so interesting. It's so awesome. And it is just a long game. This game, if you know what you're doing, could take you about 20 hours. If you know what you're doing. And don't make any mistakes. But of course, in Axel style, this one took me probably close to 60 hours. So I love this game. I cannot talk highly enough about Final Fantasy Tactics. It was so much fun. I can't get over it. So for me, I've been wanting this game to come over on one of those, collector's editions or whatever, or relaunch or something, come on, Square Enix. Because not only was it great then, but I would love to play this game now because it's just so unique, guys. And the story is so good. And the tactics is good too. I mean, it is just a fantastic game. Love it. Loved it then. Loved it. Love it now. Death Dealer, Final Fantasy Tactics.
I didn't play this. I'm just going to see myself out for... I'm doing really good with this. I know I played games in 98. I guess I didn't play a lot of the games that were released in 90. I don't know.
Yeah, hey, maybe you were a weekend rental kind of girl.
To be fair, I wasn't really a big Final Fantasy fan, so there are a ton of those games I didn't play.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, totally understand. Roy, Final Fantasy Tactics. Or on the PSP, which was a direct port, Final Fantasy Tactics, The War of the Lions.
Oh, wow. That's a title and a half.
Hey, and you want to know who
Yeah.
has them? You want to know who has both of them?
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah.
I want to say, man, it's always good to come on here and see you gush over JRPGs. It's awesome. For me, though, it's probably the biggest gap in my gaming knowledge and history is JRPGs in general. I've heard of this game, never seen gameplay, never played it. So I've got nothing. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I'm
Doggy,
not
Final
alone.
Fantasy Tactics.
Thank you, Roy. I appreciate you.
Doggy, did you get your tactics on?
No, I never played this one either. As much as I loved Final Fantasy back then, I did not play this one. So, or at least not to my knowledge.
Oh, you guys are my saviors tonight. Thank you.
We can all stay.
There you go. All right, so I guess rules are rules. Woohoo! My game made it up here. Yes,
All right, you got one. Yeah, got one up there. All right.
got one up there, baby. Yeah.
Woo!
Yes, thank you. All right, so let's see. I don't know if I ran into this one. Give me a second here.
Give me a second.
So, Sir X-Men says, okay, I got one for you. Tomb Raider 3 came out in 1998.
Yeah, that one did. Yep.
All right. Did it?
Yeah, it came
Did
out.
it?
It.
Did it? Let's see.
Yep.
United States, November 3rd, 1998. Yeah, I guess he's right.
Yeah, that was. I was talking about that one yesterday.
I played that game.
You played what?
I played that
I
game.
played that one. Yeah.
You played Tomb Raider 3?
I like Tomb Raider. I like the Tomb Raider.
You know what, Princess? Princess? Sorry.
Well,
you know what?
I am.
Yeah. There. Yeah. You're not
I am
wrong.
royalty. I make
You
it
are a
up far off.
princess, but all right. I've added Tomb Raider 3. Let me find some long play of it, and we'll talk about it here in a second. Give me a second. This takes a little bit to set up, right? Give me a second here. Tomb Raider 3 long play. No, it's all giving me new stuff. I don't want new stuff. PS1. Okay, here we go. All right, titular. Take it away. Tomb Raider 3: The Adventures of Lara Croft.
It's a
The
Tomb
Adventures of my bae, Lara Croft.
It's Lara Croft and Tomb Raider doing all of the Lara Croft Tomb Raider-y things. She runs around solving puzzles, having adventures. It's a fun game. It was fun then. The graphics do not hold up today, though. It would suck today.
All right, there you go. In the middle, Roy, Tomb Raider 3: The Adventures of Lara Croft.
So Tomb Raider 3 was the game I got with my PlayStation 1. So for a while, it was the only game I had on my PlayStation. And I'd say I liked it and I didn't. I got on fine with like the assault course in the mansion. But when it came to like the actual levels and the story, I think I struggled quite a bit, to be fair, just with the gameplay and the tank controls and stuff. I know it was considered to be obviously a pretty solid game and solid series at the time, but I think now, yeah, not so much. I'd probably put it in the middle and say maybe try those remasters, and if you really wanted to play it, you know. So yeah, I'd say sucks in 24.
Oh, my bae. How can
Oh
you
no.
do this to my bae? Doggy, are you gonna do this to my bae? Put her in the middle.
Yeah. I mean,
it sucks.
You know, Axel just wants to put her on top. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, these games were fun and stuff. I know I played all these first three. Like these were some of the ones, yeah, we got from the free games from DADC and stuff. So yeah, we sat around and played these. I can't remember which ones are which. Like they were all like I don't remember 1, 2, and 3 from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd have to play them again to remember which one's which. Sure, it was fun, but just to make a long story short, great back then. You know, Tomb Raider's great back then, but sucks now.
How could you do my base
Oh,
so
no.
bad?
Yeah,
So
she's in the
evil.
middle. She's the middle of the sandwich.
She's a middle girl.
Yeah, she's sandwich.
She's a sandwich.
Yep.
All right. So, Tomb Raider 3, The Adventures of Lara Croft. As you know, I love Lara Croft. I think she's awesome. But I hate the tank controls so much.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot describe to you how much I hate the tank controls. But I kept them because, you know what? Lara was worth it to me back then. And I can't believe this guy just ran up there and didn't do a flip. A handstand. You always got to do a handstand. I don't know. I really like this one because you started off in the training level in the mansion, right? With her butler or whatever. And then you went on an adventure. And I thought that the mansion was cool because you got to hear her voice a lot. You wanted to do everything. The tutorial was good instead of just dumping you in there like Tomb Raider 1 and 2 did. Right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. And, you know, in 1998, this was starting to show its age almost, right?
Yeah.
As you know, they're getting there, and I love this game. But I gotta agree with everybody. Even there's remakes, but even the remakes didn't hold up that well, which tells you something.
Oh.
Which tells you something, right? So I'm gonna put it right here, right in the middle. Sorry, Bay. Right in the middle she goes.
See, I've heard those like, I mean, I haven't played them. They did those remasters that came out earlier this year, 1 through 3.
Yep.
And I heard the new modern controls are even worse than the tank controls from back in the day. Like, so.
Yeah, because it had snap features back then. So like if you went up to an edge, it would like you had to do straight jumps, like super straight jumps back then.
Yeah.
And so it would line you up. Right. So the tank controls were more like 8-way controls, like a compass.
Okay.
You couldn't just go in between.
Yep.
And so, you know, if you needed to do a straight jump, you could line yourself up straight every time on one of those squares. And I'm going to guess with the analog controls, people are jumping not straight.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've heard people like the old tank ones better than the modernized controls on those. So, but I have not played those yet. And if it gets cheap enough, I'll buy that. But
yeah, no, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd have to be like a $4.99 for all three of them, you know, the kind of thing, just to
I think I have my Tomb Raider still, and I haven't popped it in a long time. I mean, it's just it doesn't.
Yeah, it's just yeah, doesn't hold up. Nope.
Yeah, my beautiful wife is smiling, seeing Lara Croft. Of course, she is. Yeah, that's right. Jingo Cookin says, "I also enjoy raiding Lara Croft's tombs." There you go. We know what he was playing.
Yeah,
all by his lonesome back then. Sir X-Men said, I knew there was a reason why we got along. You're a Tomb Raider fan too. Yeah. Let's see. Sir X-Men, we already talked about Street Fighter versus X-Men.
Yeah, I think that was our first game.
It's right here.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, that was our first game.
I think he's catching up because he missed the first half.
Yeah.
And now my wife is angry that you guys put Lara Croft in the middle. Look at this. Look what you guys have done. Look what you guys have done.
Where's she been, on bottom or top?
What's your preference?
Yeah.
Where would you like to see Lara?
Let's put a poll. Yeah. Where would you like Lara? On bottom or top?
Oh my goodness. We're not doing that. All right. Cougarman69. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. You're the real MVP. He says, "What's up, Axel Death Dealer, Doggy Dog? It's MILF Man. My phone broke, so I don't have access to my MILF Man account for now. I'm on someone else's phone." What's up? Well, thank you so much for taking someone else's phone and tuning in. We appreciate you.
What's up, MILF Man? Thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for always joining us. We appreciate you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it. I played a game with 10 controls yesterday, and I kept walking in a circle. It was so frustrating. It happened. It happened a lot. Let's see. These games look like Peach now. Not even gonna lie. Like booty cheeks.
Butt cheeks.
Butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Oh,
my beautiful wife says, "Bay your feet."
Yeah.
Love it. And you actually get 6 games with every Tomb Raider with the Tomb Raider Anniversary Edition. Ooh, okay.
Nice.
Do what? You actually get 6 games with that one that came out in February.
Interesting.
Cougarman
says, "Y'all made a mistake.
That one.
X-Men versus Street Fighter needs to be put in the column above." Up here, great then and great.
It's a rough crowd right here. You know, so.
Is that the arcade one, or the PlayStation?
Right, The
Yeah.
PlayStation one was missing features, including like the tag mode where you like in the PlayStation one. I don't think you could actually tag the person in. I think they would just come in and do a move and back off the screen. The technical capabilities of the PS didn't allow it. It got bad ratings because of that too. So I mean, it's still good, but it wasn't the arcade port that everybody wanted.
Yeah. All right. And I'm not going to read the rest of the comments. They're
No.
getting way out there. All right. Death Dealer, I'm going to have you start this next one. Are you ready, Death?
Okay.
Take it away. Talk to us.
Banjo.
Take it away. Take it away.
Oh, I know.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo. No, this is not Banjo-Kazooie. This is
No, it's not
Crash
Banjo.
Bandicoot.
Oh, Crash
3.
Bandicoot.
What?
I was okay. Well, I didn't see a name.
Yeah, and I was messing with you. You know how I like it.
Crash now,
Bandicoot 3 Warped. Did you play this game?
yes, I did. Crash Bandicoot games are fun. There's really not a whole lot to them other than just trying to get from one part of the board to the next. I mean, they're insane. I don't know, I always felt like there was one of those mind-numbing games. You don't have to pay attention to the plot or anything. You can just play throughout the whole. It's like Mario. You don't need a plot. You just play through the whole game. It's just fun. And you know, the graphics and stuff were always fun because the colors were bright and everything. The controls were well. I personally think it holds up today. I think it was great then, still great. That's just me, though. I like these games. I'm partial to them.
Awesome. And hey, you played a game, Death Dealer.
I did. Yay! Hey, this is one of my old favorites, too, at that.
There you go. Roy, Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped.
Warped, man. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I played all 3 back on PlayStation, and I would say that Warped is, in my opinion, the best of the 3. I think like the gameplay is kind of like solid. They nailed it down, and I liked the variety on the levels. It wasn't just more like jumping, platforming. You had like these underwater levels. Was there like motorbike ones where you just chased like UFOs and stuff? There was all kinds of crazy things, and the ones where you had to go through the MediEvil level and shoot guys with the cannons. And I remember it being a lot of fun. If I'm right in thinking, like what I was saying about the gameplay, when they remade the 3 of them, I'm pretty sure they based all of them on the gameplay of number 3 because it's the best playing one basically. So I would agree with Death Dealer and put it right at the top. Still really, really good.
All right, so he puts it up here too. Doggy, Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped.
Yeah, my dog's growling at the game. I don't think she likes it.
That Bandicoot.
Yeah,
Is that a Bandicoot? Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Man, I'm watching this gameplay, and I mean, I don't see why I would have missed this game, but I'm really just not recalling this one. So I don't know. I really can't give an opinion on it. I might not have played much of this one. So pass me up on it. Pass me up on it.
Pass. And I hated Crash Bandicoot back then. Screw him.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna. Yeah, I was just gonna be mean about it, if anything. So yeah, just pass me on it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like I played the demo and it just sucked, and I never touched it again. Right? Because the first one was so hard, and I'm like, I don't want to play this difficult game. I wasn't in my Souls mode yet, guys. I wasn't in my Dark Souls mode yet back then. I was still casual. I was still a filthy casual, like Doggy.
I knew he was gonna say that. I knew it. I knew that was coming.
I was still just a button masher, not tactical at all.
You can't ever be nice, man. You always just got to be like that, man.
Oh man, I'm messing with you, my
I
boy,
know, man.
my casual Doggy. You're all right. You're all right.
It's all good. We all know that by now. Anyway, we're not letting some big old cat out of the bag. So,
right?
Yeah, we'll go.
All right, so rules are rules, so it stays up there. Another one of Roy's games stays up on top. Wow, Roy, you picked nothing but the bangers.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's see. Sexman says Street Fighter X-Men vs. Street Fighter was better on the Saturn. It only released in Japan, and it released in 1999 in Japan. So we never actually got a chance to play it here.
I think it released in America on the Saturn.
It didn't.
I could have swore I remembered it too. But the Saturn version that was around wherever it was, yeah, it was done right. Like
it was arcade perfect.
It had the tag team mode
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Like it wasn't like stripped down, and the animations were all good and stuff.
Yeah. Now I ROM it up on it, and it's arcade perfect. That's all I got to say.
Right. It and the PlayStation just wasn't as good at doing those 2D fighting games as the Saturn.
No, it was a 3D machine, not a 2D machine.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't made for those 2D fighters, so it didn't do as good.
Right. Let's see. Cougar Man, aka Milf Man, says, I'm currently playing Crash Bandicoot 1. It's so difficult, but then again, I suck at games. Oh man. Don't say that. Right.
You're here with Casual Doggy then. All right, there you go.
That's right.
It's all good.
Why does Sir X-Men always bring up these like obscure games? Like, I feel like he needs to start a podcast called Obscure Gaming with Sir X-Man.
Yeah,
Sounds fun.
Obscure gaming.
Yeah, like he I know which games he's talking about. I really do.
What did he say?
Well, he put up a Thunder Force 5, right?
Thunder Force, was that a?
Yeah, it released on the Sega Saturn in 1998. Yeah, it came to the US. Yeah, but nobody played it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Oh, did it come to the PlayStation as well? I remember it came to the Saturn.
Sounds like it would be a Mad TV skit.
It does.
It came to the PlayStation. Yeah.
Was that a shmup?
It was a shmup. Yep. It was a shmup.
Yeah.
But again, I never played it, so it's not on the list. We're only talking about games we played.
I've heard of that game. Yeah, I didn't play it either. So yeah.
I didn't play it. Sorry, Sir X-Men. ObscureGaming.com. All right, let's go. Shout out to Biogenesis. Thank you so much for being here. You're the real MVP. Says, is that ray tracing?
Yeah.
No, it's Trey Racing. Oh my gosh. Shout out to you, Wicked Hot. Thank you so much for being here. You're the real MVP. He says, hey, sorry I'm late, guys. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for being here. Splendifer says, boo, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's
actually showing his maturity. Yeah. Let's see. Is this a PlayStation podcast? No, this is a gaming podcast, my friend. We got it all, but you're right. Only PlayStation games so far. No, there's a Nintendo game in there. Check it out, right here. Ka-chow. Right here.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we got the.
There is all PlayStation stuff up there, huh? I didn't know.
Yeah, there is a ton of PlayStation stuff up there. Hey, sorry, man. 1998 was it?
Yeah, I mean that was
they were in their stride. What can we say?
Yeah, it was on its roll for sure.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of PlayStation, up next is Banjo-Kazooie. Death Dealer, talk to us about Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, okay. Little bird on a bear. And they run around.
That's what you need to know.
I don't honestly know how else to describe it other than, I mean, it honestly, I don't know how else to describe this game. It's just weird. It's a weird game. It's fun, but it's weird. Crazy things happen. You're trying to save things, and I honestly don't know. I can't remember exactly. It's a fun game. It's a dumb game, but it's a fun game. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it's fun.
All right, let me take it over here for a minute. Let me interrupt here before you rate it, okay? All right, so Banjo-Kazooie, you're trying to save your sister from Griselda, the witch who wants to take her to take her youth and make herself hot. And so it's up to you to go into her castle and get her back. But her castle is magic. And so to undo the magic, you got to gather up these things called jiggies, little puzzle pieces, right? And gathering the jiggies, you unlock more of the magic and you get to go deeper into her castle, so forth and so on, right? And you cannot finish this game until you've gathered them all. So that means every single level, you got to gather them all up. And I got to tell you, this game is amazing as well. You play as the bird with his smart aleck friend, Kazooie, the Banjo, right? So you're just trying to save Banjo's sister. And this game is so much fun. I love the level varieties, right? You start off like in the forest, then you go into the desert, which has got like an Egyptian theme, but with bears. You go into the snow level, which is so much fun. You go into this haunted level here with little ghosts. It's kind of cool. And every time you unlock more and more moves for you and Kazooie to do, like you start off just being you can run on top of him. You can shoot eggs that he does out of his butt. You can do the little flap attack that he's doing right now, which is like the quickest attack, right? Of course, Banjo has his own attack, but this is like a puzzle platformer the way it was always meant to be. I don't know. I love this game as well as Death Dealer. So, Death Dealer, tell the chat where you would put Banjo-Kazooie.
Great in 98, great in 2024. I have the remaster or I don't know if it's the remaster, the re-release or whatever, but I have it on my current Xbox in Tiny Giant and I play it regularly. It's still fun. Still like them.
Still love them. Yes.
Absolutely.
And I agree because I played this on my Xbox not too long ago on the Rare Collection and loved it. I still love me some Banjo-Kazooie. I think it's a fantastic game, and it's a great puzzle platformer. That's all I'll say. It challenged Mario, and if you're good enough to challenge Mario, I mean, come on, you're doing something right. Roy, Banjo-Kazooie.
Man, I'm so good with this one. I've never had a 64, never had an Xbox. I've not had like the opportunity to play this game because it looks like something I'd really enjoy. I've played the is it spiritual successor? Is it Ukulele Games, which I think is made by some of the same people?
Yeah, it was made by some of the staff.
Yeah.
Stuff, yeah.
Really enjoyed that. So I would really like to give this a go. If they ever bring like the Rare Collection thing over to PlayStation, if that sort of miracle happens, 100%, I would be playing this one first. I think.
If you got a phone, that thing's an Xbox now.
That's true.
Just saying.
That's true.
Doggy, Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay, are the ones they have on Rare Replay the same exact ones they had on the 64?
They're upscaled and the controls and the camera controls are different. The 64 had camera issues as early 3D games do, right?
Right. Okay. Either way,
but the story's the same. The levels are the same.
So I don't know if it counts. I didn't play it on the 64. Okay, but I played it on those, and if my vote counts from those, sucks then, sucks now.
What?
That's right.
Like a dagger in
Just
his
like
heart.
my daughter was saying last night. She was talking the trash.
Oh my gosh, she was. I was laughing so much. I was shocked.
You could give us 2 votes for down there at the bottom. Thank you very much. He heard her. Yeah, he heard her in the background. Doesn't Banjo-Kazooie, doesn't that game suck?
It was hilarious. All
You're
right, well,
you're like
knocks down Banjo down
fucking-
to this spot right here. Doggy knocked him down.
Yep,
Sorry,
yep.
Banjo.
Metro Doggy makes an appearance.
Metro Doggy, hating on it.
But you know what? If you're
my
not
Banjo
gonna
Bros.
count, if you're
Sorry,
not gonna
Banjo
count-
Bros. You know who the hater is right here.
But I didn't play it on the 64, so maybe my vote doesn't count either. So
It's the same game. There's nothing different about it other than updated graphics.
all right, sorry guys, but
All right, well there you
ruthless
go.
is ruthless.
Wow. Now you don't want to say what I say about you, Doggy.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I can't blame you there.
All right, let's talk about a game that hopefully, you know what, guys? So far, not all 4 of us have played a single game.
Yeah,
Just
That's-
pointing it out.
yeah.
Not all 4 of us have played a single game. So just goes to show you the variety here going on the Iconic Video Games podcast. Jago says, I've never played a Banjo game. This gameplay doesn't make me want to play them now either.
Yeah, no point. Yeah, no point, Jago.
I'm going to play this game just to spite you, Jago. And I'm going to send you all sorts of screenshots and tag you on Twitter, everything. All right, here we go. Let's move the show along. Let's go to a little racing game known as Gran Turismo for the PlayStation. You know what, Roy? You're a guest of PlayStation Nation. Take it away.
Yeah, I played a lot of Gran Turismo back in the day. I suppose it's one of those, didn't have many games to play, so literally sat down and played hours upon hours of this game. It's kind of like, obviously, well, it's the original one of the long-running series. Has been going for actually years. It plays incredibly well. Lots of really cool cars. Obviously, graphics are now a little bit dated. There isn't really a lot to say, I suppose. Obviously, like it's quite a short game in comparison, I suppose, to the later ones. Even like Gran Turismo 2 was huge in comparison to the first one.
Or yeah, 3, yeah, 3 is so long.
Yeah, and 3 especially. Yeah, obviously with
Yeah.
being on PS2 and that.
I love that.
I would say at the time I really enjoyed it, but I would probably never consider going back to it now. I don't think. I would rank it somewhere. I'd have to rank it in the middle. I would say it sucks now.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Gran
I know.
Turismo racing
It's
games
mad to
just
say because it's iconic, but
aren't
if you
holding up.
compare it to any of the later entries, yeah, it's going to suck in comparison.
Dang, man! At Christmas, all these games are getting cold for Christmas.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Gran Turismo, Death Dealer, take it away, Gran Turismo.
Oh, it's another racing game. Woohoo! I played this one. It was fun at the time. I mean, much like most people, I enjoy racing games. There's nothing to them, and if you don't like them, they're over in like 5 minutes anyway. If you want it to be, so it was a good game at the time. Would it be enjoyable now? Absolutely not. No, the graphics aren't there. I'm sure the controls aren't as good as today's standards. So it was good then. I would say it sucks now.
All right, good then. Sucks now. All right, Doggy, where are you on Gran Turismo?
Dude, like when this game came out, it was just so amazing.
Keep in mind, this is the #1 selling game for PlayStation.
Yeah, it was. Yep, exactly.
PlayStation 1.
And I believe this was one of the first games on PlayStation to use the Dual Shock, the analog sticks, right? So
I'm unsure on that stuff.
But okay, either way, it doesn't matter. When this game came out, it was so cool. The real driving simulator, they called it, right? And that's what it was, dude. Like, and you started, you had to get. I remember you had to get those licenses, and they give you this junk car, right? And you take off from a start line, and you try and stop in a little checkered area, and your car
within the time limit.
Yeah, within the time limit, your car sucked so bad it was so hard to do, but you just keep doing it, and you finally get enough money to get a piece to put on that car that you could actually do it, And then you'd do a next part of the track, and you'd finally get your licenses and stuff, and that was just so cool, right? And then finally you saved up enough money and you got through that first section and you could buy your first used car, right? And you just learned how to use your money so sparingly. And it was so satisfying, like going through the game, and then you could finally get good cars. Had plenty of cool cars. The replay mode on it was awesome. I mean, it played like a dream at the time. I mean, it played so good. I mean, for the time, there's really nothing bad you could say about it. And I like what Jago said in the chat. It looks about as good as Gran Turismo 7.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. No, I know I'm missing stuff I wanted to say about this, but I mean, we just played this for hours.
Dang.
Yeah, we just played this for hours. And like I said, it just started off, it was a slow burn at first, but it was so memorable, right? And I remember the menus in it was so cool. I remember the menu music was so memorable. So just everything about it. It was so just, I don't know. It was just so fun to play through it. And I loved racing games anyway. And this was just pinnacle at the time. And really only ever topped in that series by Gran Turismo 3 was the best one. But this game was great then. And I see your point. Like, why would you want to go back and play it now? So I mean, like, I'm gonna give me the top anyway because it doesn't suck. It's still a great game. So I'm not putting sucks by that game. I love the Gran Turismos for pretty much for the most part have all been great. So What a great series, and started by that great game that I played for so long.
Absolutely. So shout out to Notorious. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP.
Yeah, what's up?
Let's see.
Jacob.
Biogenesis says it looks awesome still.
Yeah, it still looks good. Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, that's something else I was going to say. Like, and those, remember the memorable tracks like the High Speed Ring and Trial Mountain and stuff. Like, you know, I don't know. Their tracks they made themselves were all just they did such a good job with it. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's see. Jago says, I actually own this game on my PS1. I remember buying it. Yeah. Let's see. And he says he loved this back in the day. He played the crap out of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I couldn't stop playing that.
Cougar Man 69 aka Milf Man says, what happened to the racing genre? Yeah. What happened? A lot of people want us to talk about Resident Evil 2 here. That's like the second or third time I've seen it.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one in there a lot. Yeah.
And again, Sir X-Man, I'm not saying that Thunder Force 5 sucks, just nobody's played it. And how dare you say this Splendid for Sonic Adventure 1998? First off, everybody knows that Sonic released the Dreamcast on 9/9/99. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
He's trolling us, Axel.
Yeah.
He's trying to see if we know.
Yeah. All right. So Gran Turismo. All right. So this is the first game all four of us have played.
All right, there we go. All right.
I played this game first at a party, and I'm not kidding. Like somebody had their PlayStation out, they were playing this game. I'm like, what's this? Because it looks so good.
Yeah.
And it looks so good. I decided to rent it and try it on my friend's PS1. He didn't have it, so I rented it, right? So I got this on a weekend rental. We loaded it up. And coming from the Sega Saturn side, which was my main console then, I was a Saturn kid. And going from Daytona USA and Sega Rally Championship, all these arcade racers to a racing sim, I thought this game was slow. Like I had no sense of speed whatsoever, right? Because you started off with the crappy cars. You started off, with your Datsun.
Yeah,
that's
what it was.
With your crap Datsun. I didn't even know the Datsun was a real car. I thought they made it up for the game. You think I'm kidding, but I'm not, right?
Right.
But as we continued playing, and we unlocked our Class A license. You got your Class D, Class C, Class B, Class A, Class S, and then Class X license. I think you got an X license, maybe? No, that was
I don't know if I remember X.
S was the highest license, right?
Yeah.
I never unlocked anything. I never got higher than A. But man, I feel like it did a really good job of leading you into the difficulty by letting you adjust to the game, right?
Yeah.
Like you had to start slow so you could learn the mechanics.
Yeah.
Right. And then as you went along, the cars got faster. Your reaction time had to get better. You had to accommodate for all these things, right? And I feel that it really, really captured everything. And now this person's played in first person mode. I never did. I always played this in third person mode, right? And the replays, I remember watching the replays on purpose because they look so good.
Yeah.
Like to this day, Gran Turismo still has the best replay cameras. I don't care what anybody says. Love Forza, the gaming, but Gran Turismo replay cameras are top tier. Just throwing it out there.
Oh, they do a great job.
Yeah, they are top tier.
Always have. Yeah.
And always have been, right?
Yep.
And does this game hold up today? Graphically, no, but I would say gameplay, yes, because the formula still works.
Yep.
They only iterated on this formula. They didn't uniterate on it, right? They didn't say, oh, Gran Turismo 1 sucks. Let's take everything out and make Gran Turismo 2 way better, They basically just gave everybody more Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for me, I'm going to do like Doggy and keep it up here. Because I think it's excellent.
Yeah,
it's excellent.
It was great.
So let's see.
Great.
So let's add up the score. 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3. 10 points divided by 3. It scores 3.33. Gets left up there.
Oh, all right.
Up there. It stays up here. Woo! Shout out to Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
The number one selling game on the PlayStation. These guys don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Yep. It was.
I'm just kidding.
Top selling game. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great game. What well said on that, Axel. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was In 1998, PlayStation was like I said, in its stride. That was like probably the best year in PlayStation history. So yeah, I just remember this game being fantastic. Let's see. 1998 was the year to be on the OG PlayStation. No lies detected. Biogenesis, no lies. Or a Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah, I remember that too. Let's see. How can we forget about NHL 98 where you can beat up and have fight on the ice? I think that was released in 97 though, wasn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good try.
I think so. I think so. Hold on, guys. Let me turn off my
NHL 94 was still the best, though. NHL 94 was the best hockey, EA hockey game there ever was.
Yeah.
NHL 94.
And I'm just going to be honest. I didn't play NHL games, so.
NHL 94 was awesome. So.
Yeah.
But that didn't come out in 98 either.
Yeah. Jago Kukin's right. Some of the cars you didn't want to drive. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't want to drive a stupid Datsun, right?
Right. Yeah. That car they gave you at the beginning was a pile of trash.
I don't even remember what it was, man. It was like
a
$200 hand-me-down that you decided to raise.
And you could barely get that piece of junk up fast enough to even get to that stopping area in the first place in the time limit. And then the brakes suck so bad on it, you couldn't get it stopped, like... Yeah, like you said, you just had to keep building yourself up, and that was cool how it led you through that whole first track in the first the high speed ring or whatever, and it just gave you sections of it. Yeah, it's such a great game.
Yeah, absolutely, fantastic. All right, let's move the show along. Up next is one of my favorites. This is back when Kojima was in his prime, making action games and not walking simulators. We're talking about Metal Gear Solid, the game that just took Kojima to a whole nother level. Actually, this is still very Kojima. It was a weird story, well acted, with a bunch of layers to it that just made absolutely no sense somehow, but somehow it all came together at the very end. So, did you ever play this amazing Kojima masterpiece, Metal Gear Solid?
I don't think I played it back then. No, I have played it, but I don't think I played it back then. So no, I'm gonna have to pass on that.
She's gonna pass. Roy, Metal Gear Solid. Please tell me you played it. You're a PlayStation guy.
I didn't play it on the original PlayStation. I played it eventually on the Vita some years later. So, I don't know really.
Was it a direct port or did it change?
I believe it's a direct port of the PS1. Yeah.
Well, if it's a direct port, talk about it.
Yeah, that's good then.
I didn't get on with it. I didn't like it. To be fair to you.
Oh,
I played through.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't like it. The controls, the graphics, and it just didn't really grab me at all. No.
Is it because it was on the Vita? You didn't like it because the Vita was more capable than that?
I don't know. I just didn't.
Or was it because your screen was only like 3 inches big?
Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't big enough.
Axel bringing the excuses for you, man.
I know, right? I know.
I got you solid. All right.
All right, Will.
All right. So, do you want to rate this or not, Troy? I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, I don't think I should. No, I don't think it'd be fair. I don't think I played enough of it to rate it.
All right, didn't play enough of it. Doggy, did you play Metal Gear Solid?
I've never played any iteration of this game, so pass for me.
Heck?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and I didn't play it, so no, I'm just kidding. I played the crap out of this game, man. I love Metal Gear Solid. I love the fights with Psycho Mantis. I love the fight with Octoman, whatever, the 6-shooter guy. He was awesome. I loved the fact that I could disguise myself in a box and just throw these stupid computers for a live. It was incredible. I love the story. I love the fact that half the story was just told through those cutscenes with the radio, right? And it had acted in-game cutscenes, not really any CGI cutscenes, right?
Right.
I don't know. I enjoyed this game like there was no tomorrow. To me, this was the spy game. This is probably the game that finally made me fold and get a PlayStation. Because up until then, I would always just be happy trying out games with my friend's house. And this game just it grabbed me. Kojima grabbed me with this game. And this is when I learned his name, and I was just like, yes, let's do this, And I don't know, like there was just something so great about this. I even have a Metal Gear Solid hat that has the little exclamation point with the red symbols. When you get detected, how these change to red on the underneath. And it's one of my favorite hats. It's probably old as heck. It probably should be thrown away now, but I am keeping that hat because that's how much I enjoy this game. Metal Gear Solid is just it's top tier. I don't know, like I would put it up there with some of my favorite, like even Final Fantasy. Like I played Final Fantasy VII on my PlayStation because I bought it because of this game, and then I eventually got Final Fantasy VII and eventually got War of the Lion. So I didn't play them in 1998. But I played them on my PlayStation before I got a PlayStation 2 because I didn't get one. So, yeah, this game is just, wow. Yeah, this game is just so great. Cougarman says, I hate the camera view in this game. Oh, man, I think this camera view was incredible, even better than Resident Evil cameras. Because if you were running one way, guess what? On the next screen, you're still running the same direction. Unlike Resident Evil, it's like, oh, run up, and then suddenly up is out. Or up is straight into a zombie suddenly because it changed camera on you. Yeah. But yeah. And Victoria says, I just looked up all the games released in 98. I didn't realize almost all my favorite OG games came out this year. Yeah. Yeah. Revolver Oscillate. Yeah, sorry. I haven't played a Metal Gear Solid in a long time. Yes, him. And he might have actually been in Metal Gear Solid 2, if I recall. He might have been Metal Gear Solid 2. I don't remember. Anyways, whatever, man. This game is great. Great story that somehow came together at the end. I love this game so much that I would even play it today in the way you see it right here in this mode. Now, would this game benefit from a remaster? Absolutely, it would. But you play this game for the story. I mean, like, there's more cutscenes and stories in this game than gameplay, I would argue. Or at least 50-50. That's how much the story is in this game. So, yeah. I think this game would be cool. So there we go.
Nice.
So Metal Gear Solid to me goes up here, and because rules are rules, it stays up top. All right. Let's go to Roy and talk about one of his favorite games of all time.
I'm nervous when you say that.
Let's talk about a little game called Panzer Dragoon Saga. Roy, talk to us.
I've got absolutely nothing. Pulled a fast one on me there, man.
All right. Nothing from Panzer Dragoon Saga.
He's mean like that, isn't he?
Yeah, he's terrible, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jacob Cookin says, my favorite Metal Gear game is Snake Eater if I had to pick one. Let's see. Yeah, the camera setup in this game was my choice, better than the Resident Evil games. Cougar Man, Milfman says, better than Resident Evil. Somebody arrest this man. Oh my goodness. Death Dealer, Panzer Dragoon Saga.
I don't know her. Never met her. Never heard of her. Never seen her. Who is she? Where'd she come from? Why is she here? Is she leaving soon?
Oh my gosh, she's a heartbreaker. I can tell you that much. All right.
It looks kind of goofy, but
oh my goodness, Dougie, Panzer Dragoon Saga.
I got nothing.
it looks like if somebody walked into like a development studio and was like, "Hey guys, I want you to go ahead and like take some nightmares, turn it into a video game, and I want you to base the main character off of like a really janky looking puppet."
Oh, these Panzer haters.
Axel's going to kick us off this stream.
It looks like Pinocchio's nightmare.
Yeah, I like what Death Dealer's saying. I'm going with that.
Look at that. We're going to move right along here, guys, with the show. Let's get this going.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm just kidding with all you guys. You know I am. All right, so let's talk about the best game on the Sega Saturn.
You mean Pinocchio's Drunken Nightmare?
First off, this game is a masterpiece. You don't know what you're talking about. Panzer Panzer Dragoons, the Panzer Dragoon series, Panzer Dragoon 1 and Panzer Dragoon 2 SWI, were on-rail action shooters. And Panzer Dragoon Saga basically said, you know what if we made it an RPG instead of an on-rail shooter, where you got to wander the world and it had a three-dimensional fighting mechanism where you could change your dragon on the fly, of course. And it had a real-time charge system, real-time combat system, like the active meter gauge, I think is what it's active battle gauge or whatever it's called. And it was so different in comparison to the first two that I was like, okay, but I still wanted to play it because I'm a huge Panzer fan, right? And talk about gold. Guys, the story in this game follows the story of Edge, who is made purposely to look very generic, like just an anybody, right? And Edge gets chosen by the dragon because they get to choose their riders and so the dragon establishes a psychic connection with his dragon, and that's how he can control the dragon because the dragon chose him as his rider. And the dragon only responds to him. Right now, Edge is not the only dragon rider in Panzer Dragoon Saga, right? There's the android girl who also has a psychic connection to her dragon, and her dragon is like 5 times the size of your dragon. It's pretty crazy. And so in the Panzer Dragoon world, they have created biomechanical weapons, right? Which is why you see this art style kind of being kind of weird with like bones and machines mixed, right? And these biomechanical weapons have basically torn the world apart. They were part of a previous war a long time ago, and humanity's like on the brink of extinction at all times. Well, and then an empire comes around, and they figure out how to control the biomechanical weapons, right? And so they're out there conquering the biomechanical weapons, and they want to fire off something called the Black Tower. And the Black Tower is basically like the nuclear device to the world, right? And so the dragon doesn't want anybody to fire off this nuclear device, and so that's why he chooses Edge. And so here you are now fighting these biomechanical weapons, and it's so cool because because these biomechanical weapons, they don't necessarily ever die, and this is what makes the world of Panzer Dragoon so great. They don't die; they get torn apart and they regenerate over time. So a lot of the bad guys, a lot of the bosses you fought in Panzer Dragoon 1 and Panzer Dragoon 2 return as partially regenerated or mutated previous entities that they were. And it's so cool. Like this one right here, he's fighting the Guardian Dragon. This is the main boss in Panzer Dragoon 2. Okay. And so right here, you see the Empire. They're harvesting the Guardian Dragon because they want to control him, right? And so here you are, you just destroyed it, but now you've unleashed the remainder of the Guardian Dragon. And and the best thing about this is because they're biomechanical weapons, they have pre-programming. And so the last thing he remembers is trying to kill this dragon. And because he didn't succeed, that's all he wants to do, which is why he's fighting you. Like the lore in this game is so deep, right? It's a fantastic RPG. Of course, Edge falls in love with the Black Dragon Rider, the android, and eventually love conquers all. Long story short, love conquers all, right? They stop the towers from being used by the Empire together, even though the android was programmed to kill Edge. His empathy and sympathy for her and his love for her basically broke through her programming, and it was pretty cool. It's a really good story. The best part about this game is that it's 4 disc long.
Oof.
4 disc, but each disc can be played in about 5 hours, maybe. So it's not a super long game, right? And another thing that I love about this game is that everything is 3D. Period. Every asset is in 3D, and so it really shows off the power of the Saturn. Which not even Final Fantasy did everything in 3D. So I really love this game. I think this game is fantastic. It's the best Saturn game ever made. I don't care what anybody says. And quite possibly the game that deserves a remake more than any other game in the world right now. So for me, Panzer Dragoon Saga goes up here. Great in 1998, great in 2024, because guess what? I just played it this year, and I still loved it. So it holds up. let's check in with the chat, see what they have to say about Panzer Dragoon.
You'll love
Let's
the
see.
last one.
Nobody said anything about. Oh my God, Jingo. Oh my God. Doggy, read this out.
All right. The main character in this game looks like Stuart Smalley from Saturday Night Live. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And God dong it, people like me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought it was gosh darn it. But anyway,
Because they're the
doggone it,
boys.
people like me.
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me.
Yes. And by the way, this is the android he falls in love with. Her name is Azel.
That is hideous.
It's funny because here it's called Panzer Dragoon Saga,
Mhm.
but in Japan it's called Panzer Dragoon Azel.
Really? Because I think it kind of looks like Pinocchio's nightmare.
You guys are cruel. You guys are cruel to me.
I'm good enough. I'm
That was
smart
the
enough.
love interest. Come on.
Hey,
Yeah, that's yeah. No,
All
that it looks like a cool game though. I just
sure, guys.
and
It's okay.
it was pretty rare too. Game, right? I mean, it wasn't.
Oh
like
man,
something you was
they
gonna come
only
across,
made
like-
100 and
Right.
I think they initially released only 60,000 copies and it sold out right away.
right.
So they ran a second print of another 70,000 copies or something like that. There's only like 120 or 130 copies ever made. And as time goes on, the availability of those copies just keeps going down. The game is sitting at about $1,000
Wow. Holy.
because not only
I'm
not
glad
only
I
is it a
didn't
fun
have
game,
it.
is it a rare game, but it's a fun game.
I'm glad I never had it because I'd just be more mad at myself because it'd just be another game I would have sold off stupidly that I wish I had. So yeah, $1,000. Yeah,
I think
Nice.
it's sitting down at $1,000. Let's see. Hold on.
yeah. No, that game's always looked cool. It was like I said, it was rare. It was hard to get.
Has it
Oh,
not
and
been
the
ported
music on it.
anywhere at
Oh
all?
my God. That soundtrack to this game is top tier.
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Top tier.
Well,
So
on
it's
the
sitting
bright
at
side,
$911 right now.
it
Hmm?
stays in the top category because nobody else can.
Yeah. Nobody can knock it down. Yeah. Yeah. That was his way of cheating one up at the top there. Yeah. Yeah, he
Hey,
does
you know
like
what?
to do
Uh,
that.
You know what? I don't want to hear it. You know, Roy cheated Kurushi up there.
Yeah.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Doggy could have cheated X-Men versus Street Fighter up there, but he didn't. So
Right. I mean, you know, like yeah, if it was arcade perfect, it would have been up there at the top for sure. You know, or even close to arcade
that's
perfect, but it fell short in a lot of categories. So it got what it deserves where it's at.
yeah. So
Still
X-Men says
great
my
game,
copy of Radiant Silvergun is not worth $1,000. Oh,
Whoa.
the Japanese
Yeah.
version?
Wow.
Did Radiant Silvergun ever come to the US? I know it got re-released on the Nintendo Switch, but I don't know if it ever came to the US. I don't know.
I mean,
Anyways,
it was-
but it's a great game. Another great game.
It was on.
I do
Xbox
love Radiant Silvergun.
360
And it released in
arcade.
1998, but I don't think it came to the US, so therefore it's not on the list. Sorry
Yeah.
about that, Sir X-Men. But I love that game. It's a great game.
Mr. Obscure Gaming himself.
That's right. Sorry, man. It's not my fault that Sega, being a Saturn kid, made me an obscure gamer. All right, here we go. Death Dealer, talk to us about The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the highest rated game of all time.
See, if you're a nerd. No, just kidding. Got nothing. It's another one I don't play. But-
You haven't played the best game of all time
No.
ever?
No.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Not a
goodness.
Zelda fan. Sorry. This is wasn't for me. Sorry.
I see. Roy, talk to us about the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the best game of all time.
If I had to name one series that I've desperately would love to play through, but I've never had a chance to, it's Zelda. I've not had haven't had really the right Nintendo consoles as such. I've played a little bit of that. What is it? What's the one on the Switch? That's a remake of the Game Boy game. I played a few hours of that
Link's
one.
Awakening.
Link's Awakening, yeah. I played that. Really enjoyed that, but I'd love to play some of the 3D ones. But I need to obviously I suppose you can get some on the Switch, but I haven't played this one. Is the short and answer, I guess. Yeah.
Oh my. Okay. Doggy's out. So, Doggy's back. Are you back, dude?
I'm back. I think I'm.
He's here.
Doggy, talk to us about the highest and best Zelda game, the Ocarina of Time, the best Zelda game of all time.
Oh, no, this is the best Zelda game of all time. What Zelda 3 would be up here?
What? No.
No. See, you're clowning on me now. So, okay. No, this game was awesome. I'm gonna let Axel do all the. He'll tell this whole story about the whole deal about all better way than I will. But yeah, no, this was This is my second or third favorite. This game was totally awesome. This was a reason to get the N64. Some game stuff that stood out was like the Z lock-on system.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. The way the buttons, the context of the button, what button does what, this game kind of revolutionized this genre of game. That's what, it did that. Great story, great writing, great music, great bosses. Yeah, like I said, I just, if I was going to rate this, like I said, I'll let you talk on it. You're so good. Talk about this one. I loved this game back then, and if I had the time, I'm sure it's on that Nintendo Online. I would replay through this again. I mean, it was so great. Everything about it was just so revolutionary at the time. It's so great. Like, yeah, if Roy, if you haven't played through Zelda series, yeah, make some time and do that. Especially the first Zelda on NES. If you can get, do that somehow. Zelda 3, you can skip Adventures of Link. You don't need to play that. And then go to this. Yeah, what a great game. It just, it did 3D so well. It was cool how it did little stuff like sunsets and stuff, which at the time, you didn't see stuff like that. It's nothing to think of that now, but just the way it presented itself, the Master Sword, how it made you older Link and stuff, But anyway, yeah, I'll let Axel, I'll just ramble about it. Axel will tell it in a nice, smooth story. But what a great game! What a great game!
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, let me talk to you about the best game of all time. Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Here it comes.
So the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the highest rated game of all time, is there for a reason. So if you played, if you played Doggy's game, what was it called, Doggy? The one you like?
Link to the Past?
Link to the Past. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
You make references to the Hero Time. You want to know when you get to play the Hero Time? Right here.
Yeah.
You play the OG Zelda on the NES, and they make references to the Hero Time. You want to know when you get to play the Hero Time? Right here. This Link is very important to the Zelda timeline, right? Because he is the much talked about, much rumored hero of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so let's talk about why he's so important. So Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf are reincarnations of beings that existed way back in the day, right? It's a curse that was put on them by the evil overlord to just basically always be cursed and relive their lives. Hence why Legend of Zelda always happens. Someone from the royal family is going to be Zelda. A reincarnation of evil is going to happen, typically Ganondorf, right? Although there's another character that does it, but we're not going to talk about him. And the hero, a swordsman, always gets reincarnated as Link. And so they're on this internal struggle. So here they are now. Ganondorf is reincarnated and way before Zelda and Link are. So he's older than they are. So kid Ganondorf, he finds out about his reincarnation and he's getting out the Triforce of Power. And he basically, because he's so much older and baby Link or Kid Link and Kid Zelda are too little to stop him, he goes on a tirade and basically rules over the land of Hyrule for 7 years, right? So let's go rewind back. So Kid Link and Kid Zelda, she gives him the Ocarina of Time, which leads to one of the best soundtracks of all time, by the way. Oh, sorry, one of the best soundtracks of all time. And and she just, and so Baby Link is figuring it out, and she says, find the sages, find the sages. So he does find the sages. Kid Link does, and they know that in order to beat Ganondorf to vanquish evil, he needs to wield the Master Sword. But Baby Link is too small to wield the Master Sword, so they put him in a time chrysalis, right? Which that time chrysalis just lets his body age for 7 years, till he's old enough and strong enough to wield the Master Sword, right? Hence the hero of time, right? So he can freely travel between adult form and kid form to handle stuff in the timeline too, because there's a 7-year gap that he's not in there, right? And so some of the stuff that happens over here is like, oh, I can go fix it if I go back over here. And it's like, oh, I can't fix this because I'm too small, so I got to go over here and fix it over here.
Yeah.
And it's this really cool way. Like, he's too young to do the temples. But, when he's older, he can do the temples. And now he harnesses the power of fire and he takes it back with him. It's really neat. And so long story short, right? The hero time, when he's older, he finally gets big enough and old enough to take on Ganondorf. Zelda has been in prison for 7 years. Ganondorf kidnapped her, right? And imprisoned her for 7 years, waiting for the hero time to come and rescue her. And together they beat Ganondorf. And that is the ending to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And it is, hands down, the best Zelda ever made. Say it with me, doggy. It's the best Zelda of all time. Okay.
Oh, and you can't really argue someone when they say that, like.
Yeah, no, there's so many games that can fit that description, right?
Right, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying that about this game. I love this game. I just love the play style of the original, Zelda 3 better. But no, I could completely understand your favorite game of all time being this. Couldn't blame you.
Yeah, no, this game is it's on another level. That's all I gotta say. Like,
it was awesome. Great. Great stories telling about it too. I knew you'd tell it well. I was going to try and iterate. I was like, nah, just let the man say his piece.
And by the way, it's funny because the reason I know this game so well is because I've played it like maybe times in my life.
Yeah,
at least that's being generous,
And that's cool how it ties it with A Link to the Past too. That how they make mention of that, and that was cool how you told all that. So
my gosh, what's the best about this Legend of Zelda is that it fractures the timeline into 3 distinct timelines.
Yeah,
I won't get into it, right, because this isn't a Zelda podcast, but A Link to the Past is actually on the bad side of the fracture, where the hero time dies, where he's defeated. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah. So yeah, I really like this game because it fractures the timeline, and that's how important this game is to the Zelda timeline. Yeah. Hero time, best game. Let's see.
All right.
John Daniel 79. Let me know. Did I sell it to you? Let me know, buddy. Let me know.
Yeah. All right, yeah. Buy or sell. Yeah. What you got?
Cougar Man Movement. Were there any games that sucked in 1998? I'm telling you, man. 1998 year was fire.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There was even stuff like NFL Blitz on the PlayStation that didn't get on here. So yeah.
Let's see. Jago Cookin says this is the only Zelda game I've ever been in, and it was a dang good game. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was. Fantastic. Yeah.
All right. Looks like they're getting ready to fight. So let's get our last game out here.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's do it. Yep.
So per request of Milfman, we got Resident Evil 2. Way twice as good as Resident Evil 1, or so they say, right? Death Dealer, talk to us about Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
I was muted, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready to go to Raccoon City where Umbrella is under the surface and has released a virus across the city? Accidentally, of course. What do they say? You get to play the characters that everyone wanted to see in the movies that only got a little bit of screen time. But you can play Claire, who's searching for her brother, or Leon, the cop, who's, trying to save everybody. Your point is to try and get out of Raccoon City. And again, she's looking for her brother, and he's just looking for people to save. Mm-hmm. Can you get out? Will you get out? I have a spoiler alert, the virus spread, so it doesn't matter. But this is like some of the other games. This is one of the games that, based on how you played and what you did in certain scenarios and puzzles and things, depended on the outcome and the end of the game. There were multiple endings for the game. So what you did depended on how the game ended. I don't really know what else to say. It was a good game. It is a good game. The graphics do not hold up today. Unfortunately, the controls don't hold up that well today. It weren't the worst, but they weren't my favorite. Obviously, today's controls are much better.
Mm-hmm.
So the camera was a little janky at times, irritating. And then, of course, at times, because the graphics were so old and things, in certain areas, it was almost too dark to see things. But it's a fun game. It's got action. It's got puzzles. It's a fun game. If you like Resident Evil, you probably would have liked this one. Like I said, though, it was great then. Sucks now.
Oh, starting out low. Oh, MILF band, you know what to do.
That's just my experience.
By the way, John I79 says that I definitely sold him on The Legend of Zelda Ocarina.
Oh yeah, I knew he would hit it out of the park with that.
Fun fact: Raccoon City is more safe than New York City. No lies detected, bro. No lies detected.
Yeah, I haven't been to New York.
Roy, talk to us about Resident Evil 2.
I've unashamedly never played it.
Unashamedly. So you don't want to play it?
No, I don't think I do. To be fair, it's never really appealed to me.
Fair enough. Copies aren't for everyone.
Yeah.
Doggy, talk to us about Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, this is back when I actually played Resident Evil games. It's been so long since I played it. I don't remember much about it. It was a good refresher course by, of course, Death Dealer. Of course, she's going to tell a good refresher course on a great horror game. I remember this game being tough, like from the controls wise, and I sucked at it pretty bad, but yeah, this was just another game that, like, when we were just hanging out at a friend's house, we'd all just play it, just play through it, and if somebody was sucking at it, you just pass the controller, yeah, you died, come on, give it up, and yeah, I mean, I don't know what would be the love about it back then, like I said, I don't play Resident Evils now. I mean, I sneak at them, but for rating this one for what it is now, it was great back then. I guess it sucks now, compared to stuff of that. But I'm not much of a horror person, so I can't really speak on any of that. But either way, it was fun back then.
All right. So Resident Evil 2 to me is amazing. First off, what is that new zombie called? The Licker or something like that, right? The one that... So you remember in Resident Evil 1 when they first introduced the zombie, they did it in a really cool, scary cutscene where it turns around and it's just growling at you and all this stuff. It was scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
On this one, they introduced the one that crawls, that looks like it's had its skin filleted off, has like brains open, and it has a long tongue. It's called a Licker or something, right? I don't know what it's called.
My head, I don't know.
And well, they did the same thing with that one. I thought that was cool, right? A new creepy zombie. Yeah, it's called the Licker. Okay, yeah, there you go. Jacob said it. Okay. Right? And it was cool to me. The fact that you got to play as Claire instead of Leon to begin with was also cool, because I was expecting to continue the story from Resident Evil 1, but that didn't happen. I'm sorry, with the same characters, but it kind of didn't happen because they all kind of died, right? Or disappeared, or missing, or whatever. Or this is taking place almost at the same time, or something like that. I forget the exact story on it because it's so long ago. And that's the thing with Resident Evil. I think I had a really good time playing Resident Evil 2, and I thought it was way better than Resident Evil 1 and improved in every aspect whatsoever. So I think it's a fantastic game, and I had a really good time playing it. But truth be told, I've never loaded it back up. because the tank controls, like, I don't know why the tank controls just throw me off. And this is nothing against Resident Evil. You know, Tomb Raider does the same thing. But Resident Evil does the tank controls on top of camera angles that change. I mean, look at this, guys. Look.
Yeah, I mean, she did say that, though. Like, I had tough angles. Or it'd be dark and stuff.
Yeah, all right. So here she goes. She's running. And now, did you see that? Like,
yeah.
like
Capcom was kind of the kings of crappy camera angles there for a while, right? Even Devil May Cry kind of did that to you sometimes, you know? Like,
yeah. So
you mean
I don't know.
don't want to go up against a infected thing and the camera all of a sudden like zoom into your forehead into the background for a quick second before it zooms out? That's not how you play. Come on.
That's certainly not how I play. And I mean, I don't play like this guy with a dead body just in front of me. They smell. Just saying.
Right.
Just saying.
This is cool seeing the footage of this. Like, I don't know. It's just been so long.
Yeah, it's been so long, and you know, nothing wrong against it, right? Just saying, nothing wrong against it. So yeah.
Oh yeah, nothing to get out, Resident. Yeah. I just
it was fantastic back then, and I'm super glad they got rid of the tank controls and redid the whole remake, because the remake is a million times better. So I would recommend the remake instead of this one in 2024. So great in 1998, sucks in 2024. Because 2024 we have access to a much better, much more awesomer Resident Evil 2 version, and that's the one I recommend.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. So again, Sir X-Men, Radiant Silvergun did come out for the Sega Saturn in 1998, but only in Japan. Yeah.
What was it? Radiant Silvergun?
Radiant Silvergun. It's a fantastic.
Yeah.
It
was on. I think it's still back compat. I think you can get that on Xbox.
Yeah, you can get it on the 360, the One, Windows, Nintendo Switch. It's in many places, but
yeah,
it's just
Yeah, I don't remember playing that.
It just didn't release in the US.
Yeah,
it's not a US release, so it never came to either the US where we played or the UK where Roy played. So there you go, guys. So this is the official ranking of the iconic video games for games that came out in 1998. Now we reviewed 17 games.
It was too hard to it was too hard to cut it down to 10.
I mean, it was wow. So there you go, guys. This is the most games we've ever reviewed on an episode. Roy, you still awake, buddy?
I think so, man. I think so.
All right, let's see. You're 6 hours ahead, right?
Hang on, I'm just gonna take a quick nap here. You carry on.
Yeah. So it's like almost 4 o'clock, right?
It's hang on. Yeah, it's pretty much it's 3:30. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
Yeah. So there you go. All right. So this is the official list of the iconic video games ranking in 1998. What do you think, guys? What do you think?
Not bad.
Yeah, it's always fair. It's always fair. Just like just like usual with the iconic video games podcast, this is the official ranking. You don't need to go on the internet, look anywhere else. Just get out your phone, snap a picture of this right here, and you'll always know a list of the best games in 1998. There you go.
Absolutely.
Listen, folks, he's the perfect type, man. He knows what he's talking about, okay?
Yeah. And of course, I always love bringing in Roy when we have a lot of PlayStation-heavy topics, because he is Mr. PlayStation.
Cheers,
that's right. Mr. PlayStation. PlayStation Nation over there. But I love him because he's still respectful, which is what I love the most.
Oh, yeah.
Roy, let the chat know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Matumbo87, and you can find my writing work, reviews, and articles at spawningpoint.com. So fun stuff.
Spawningpoint.com, guys. Check it out. It's actually pretty good. I love it.
Thanks, man.
Yes. And guys, of course, we wouldn't be able to do this show without you guys, the chat. And that's why you guys, the chat, will always be the MVP to all of the shows here on the Iconic Video Games channel. And with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm Axel1324.
I'm Death Dealer.
And I'm Doggy Dog 420.
And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Maybe. Oh, there we go.